It's 5 to 8 on Breakfast, and our guest this morning is the Environment Minister, Peter Garrett. Minister, just to be clear, you've announced a safety audit. On how many houses will that be carried out?
That'll be on all the homes that have that's foil insulation in their ceilings.
And
Fran.
how many is that?
It's a well, I don't have the exact figure to hand. It's a figure of around 40,000 houses.
And how quickly will you be able to make sure those inspections take place? Because the opposition says that these audits should happen within 3 months. Can you make that happen?
Well, I'm not going to start setting timelines according to what the opposition says. They've opposed this program from day one, and they're doing a lot of political point scoring now on the basis of what's happened over the last couple of days of me actually adding standards. But
so what is your timeline?
Well, I announced yesterday that if people have a concern in relation to the safety of foil insulation in their ceilings, they can immediately get in touch with an accredited or registered electrician to have that concern properly explored. In the meantime, we will go out to the relevant organisations who can do this work. I expect that to happen within a very short period of time, and I expect the audit inspection process to take place as quickly as it can be done and as thoroughly as it can be done. And remember, we're already auditing and inspecting roofs right around Australia. We've over 14,000 roofs we've already done under the course of the program. We already have a monitoring and compliance program in place to make sure that we stamp up and jump down on stamp down, I should say, and jump on dodgy behaviour. And we've continued to do that as well. And we're seeing a relatively small number of complaints in the system, given the scale of the system, about 0.5% of complaints given the totality of the system. It has been a very successful program. It has delivered. It
has also been a killer, and that is the problem you're facing now. You're saying that people can apply for an audit. I mean, we only have a certain number of electricians in this country. What's your advice from your department about how quickly you might be able to get to all these 40,000 odd homes?
Well, I'm pretty confident that master electricians and other bodies who have expertise in this area will be able to do that audit within an appropriate and quick period of time and do it thoroughly. I've no doubt in their capacity to do that. But I come back to the original point, and that's this. Governments bring forward these programs. They are big programs. We've unleashed the animal spirits in the market, which the Conservatives always like to do. And in so doing, we've created employment. We've produced the biggest energy efficiency program in Australian roofs, and it has succeeded in the outcomes that we've set for ourselves. Now, I take the issue of safety terribly seriously, and I want to make sure...
Minister, the safety standards have gone awry. You must accept that. There's been fires in roofs. There's been 4 lives lost.
Well, Fran, I don't accept that the safety standards have gone awry at all. The standards that we have in place are in excess of the Australian standards, in excess of the building code requirements. We have actually got safety standards higher than they have ever been set before because of the Commonwealth providing a rebate for insulation to go into people's roofs. At the end of the day, I'm also saying to installers that there's an expectation. It's an expectation at common law, it's an expectation in business, it's an expectation under the state regulations, and it's an expectation under our guidelines and regulations that they will follow them.
Minister,
they will make sure that they do the job properly.
Voters have expectations too. This is the 3rd program under your department which has had problems or cost blowouts. Why shouldn't you lose your job?
Well, on cost blowouts, Fran, all I can say about the beat up about the solar panels expenses is simply this. We committed to bringing forward significant support for solar panels. We provided support for some 120,000 when we discharged that obligation, 11 times what our opponents ever did. And then we provided the transition to solar credits to enable the solar industry to have a sustainable path into the future. So I have great confidence both that was the right decision to take at the time, more solar panels on roofs under the Rudd government than ever before, than at any time before, and we brought forward that money in order to do it. It wasn't a cost blowout, it was making sure that we provided the opportunity for people to have solar panels on their roofs. But the fact is that the solar panel rebate itself and those kind of rebates place incredible pressure on the budgets. That's recognised by this government in terms of fiscal responsibility, if not by the opposition.
Okay.
So we transition to solar credits, giving people the opportunity to have that support for solar over the long term.
Minister, news is upon us. Just very briefly, what number should people call if they have concerns?
1800 808 571, the insulation hotline, Fran, and the other number we'll make available to you in the course of the day.
Okay. Thank you very much, Peter Garrett.